Now I invite Dr. Perita Sosa to speak on participation of women in India.
I'm going to talk to you about this female labor force participation. And the reason for this study was that when we started to look at data on women and employment, we were quite surprised to find out that India has one of the lowest participation rates among even the emerging markets, and it's declining. Then we started to find out why is this the case, and who works and where, and what are the trends. And first, the big problem was that where do we get the data? Now in India, you may know that labor market data is not very comprehensive. So the only other sources we saw was NSSO household surveys every 5 years. And then the other source is IHDS surveys, which are a bit smaller, but there the latest data was 2005. So, and ILO has only very sort of global aggregates. So we decided to dig into the NSSO data, and you have often over 100,000 observations per each year, so it's a huge data set. So we hired some students to plow it and some academics to help us, trying to understand what's behind these trends. Now, first, even before going to the econometrics, what we found that there are huge differences between states and rural and urban areas. And in general, the north, women are less working, and in the south, they are working more. Characteristics we found is that women tend to work in very marginal conditions, even compared to men. Like, for example, in 2012, still only 6% of women who worked had any social benefits in the formal sector. And over 50% of them were working in either paid self-employment or unpaid self-employment, which really means that you work in your husband's shop, you are a street vendor, or you work in agricultural fields. So the type of work is also still in the majority a bit marginal, although it's improving. If you look at some of the trends, the self-employment is declining, but it's still quite important. Then next one, which is common to many other countries, women are paid less than men for the same job. And there you see in India by education, and for example, you see that services is a bit better, especially for the higher educates. That's the women's wage as a percentage of men's wage in the same education category. And, but I can tell you, this is even a problem in Finland and France, where we come from. So, bigger puzzle for us was that female participation declines with education. This was a surprise, and there you see that participation of the last 4 household surveys, and you really see that it declines with the level of education, except for the highest educated category. Then it also jumps up again. So when the family's income rises, women tend to work less, they stay home. Then comes the why. Why is this all happening? For us outsiders, it was a puzzle, you may know more, but we did econometrics then to see what is really behind this. And one first category is personal characteristics, which is common to other countries too, is that when women are married, they drop out from labor force, or when they have small children. But there you have the 2 other categories, education and household income, that came out very strong in the regressions as explanatory variables. Cultural, religion, and social class variables, and they affected both supply and demand for work by women. Access to finance, having a bank account, especially in rural areas, was important, because sometimes having a bank account raises a woman's independence and self-esteem. Infrastructure and security are issues. Time available for work outside in rural areas. If you have to spend your time in getting water and electricity to your house, you may have less time to go and get work somewhere else. Then activation policies has been quite important, actually in a positive impact. These rural employment programs have raised female participation, but that's only 3 months a year. But still, it has helped a lot of women to get out of the house, go to work, get confidence, and then look for other types of jobs elsewhere. Then there were other determinants that were less important. Discriminatory labor laws, night work is forbidden, or access to professions sometimes is restricted. But we found that once you liberalize, it's mostly the men who benefit from the more liberal labor conditions. But another curious thing was that when we saw that may explain the trend in lower participation declining, is that in the countryside, rural incomes went up quite a lot since 2005. And when families had more income, a lot of the poor women who were in marginal jobs stayed home. And that's actually in numbers quite important when you look at even in a drop in employment in rural areas. And then another statistics we found that may point to a demand problem is that highly educated women with secondary or graduate education, they report high unemployment. That really means that they'd like to have a job, but they can't find one, despite their education. So there's really is a huge potential for the country to have more women who want to work. Not everybody wants to work, but those who want should have more opportunities to participate in the labor force. We started to see what can be done about it. Now, India already has many good gender policies to build on. You have a women's ministry, you have gender budgeting, all kinds of programs run all over the country on daycare, training, conditional cash transfers, education is rising. There's the bank account program and a rural employment program, awareness building. Despite all this, participation remains low. So one needs to do more. And then in a way, you as Indians know better your society. You may not agree with us, but what we put some key things here that we thought might help, and also based on experience in some other countries and some other studies. Now, the first thing is to create jobs. That's clear. So you have to have more jobs so that women can go and grab them. And then one has to overcome some of these social and cultural barriers. Like some of the studies say that women stay home because of status when incomes rise. And then there's been some studies showing that you have female quotas in local councils. And this, Esther Duflo, for example, which is a famous French economist in the US, has shown that this has helped a lot women's self-esteem and participation, and has shown to the communities that women can handle responsibility and can do jobs. So we'd like to support the extension of these quotas to the national level, which was already proposed in India more than 10 years ago, but the law is still in parliament. So this could really be a shock boost to the women's status in the society. Because education is another thing that might help a lot, but it might take 2 generations or more before education works through the system and reduces these social and cultural barriers. Then there are other things like reinforce existing equality frameworks, implementation of gender laws, modernize labor laws for more equal opportunities, or enhance the role of this female ministry so that they would really more coordinate the gender-related policies in India.